So 747 SP, it stands for Special Performance. It's basically a shortened 747 with the taller tail. The idea being more efficient over longer distances. That was in play for a little while. There wasn't too many of them built that way, but Pan Am picked this up in '77, started flying it as Clipper Lindbergh after the famous aviator, and then in '86 it went to United Airlines, and they flew it until '97 when it was purchased by NASA, and that's where the SOFIA program began. It took a lot of work to get this ready. L3 Communications was contracted to do a lot of the work that needed to be done, which included the door, the cooling system that I mentioned, and strengthening floors, all kinds of stuff.
Oh, I imagine. Hey, welcome back to M-Flight. You never guess what I'm in. Queen of the Sky, 747. I'm here with Brad, who was nice enough to invite us back.
Samir, welcome back, M-Flight. Happy to see y'all again. I'm really excited because bringing you guys back means I get to put a pilot in the cockpit of the 747, which means we're taking off, right?
We're taking off, man. I'm not a real pilot. I fly Airbus. This is too many buttons.
Hey, that's all right. It was worth a shot. How about I tell you about some of the history of this plane and save the flying for another time?
Awesome, sounds good. Let's get into it.
All right, so this is where the magic happens, I guess, for a scientific instrument that they flew in the sky. This is the bulkhead. Behind that was a nearly 20-ton telescope, and the mirror from that has been removed, but what you're looking at is some of the scientific equipment that was attached to it, some of the readings. Here we've got the panel for the scientific equipment. And then on the computers back there that we just walked past is where they're reading the data and stuff. This is the mechanism that opens the door. So when you're outside looking at the back end of the aircraft, that door that opens up, that opens it up.
Wow.
And then this controls the climate. An interesting thing about an infrared telescope flying at about 30,000 feet is it's pretty cold up there. And if you just open that door, condensation hits the mirror, you're not going to be able to do the readings that you want to do. So they actually cooled it down in the compartment where the telescope was to the outside temperature. Open the door, you don't have that condensation. So that's another one of the interesting features that they had to do in order to, make this work. NASA's SOFIA program ended up finding some really cool things about the universe. It's an infrared telescope, so that's wavelengths lower than we can see with human eye.
Right.
And what that did is allow them to look into great distances, things that we can't normally see. And so it found things like a hazy atmosphere around Pluto that had never been discovered before. It found ice on the sunlit surface of the moon for the first time, and it does this because compound and infrared light have a very distinct signature, so you can tell what kind of compound it is based off of the data that's coming in. And even after its retirement, while it was here, while we're given tours of this in its museum afterlife, a new article just got published about how the data from SOFIA was used to discover water molecules on an asteroid for the first time. So that just happened a couple weeks ago. So SOFIA is still making discoveries. It is retired. It'll be here for as long as we can keep it around, which just means as long as we can stay around. So if people keep visiting, it'll be here forever. But yeah, a lot of cool things, a lot of cool history behind this plane. It's a very unique plane, and we're lucky to have it. So.
We really appreciate that information. Thanks again.
Hey,
Brad.
thanks so much.
You guys are in Tucson, come to Pima Air and Space Museum. Check it out, man, SOFIA. And how long will the tours be open?
We're gonna run them periodically through the spring. Summer we'll have to stop it. It'll be way too hot in here in Tucson, Arizona, but we'll start them up every year when it cools off.
All right. Well, thanks, man. Appreciate you guys. Watch the next video. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, SOFIA is the last airborne observatory. It's probably going to be the last one for a long time, if ever. So there is a gap right now between what SOFIA could do and what the telescope satellites could do in their telescopes. They had different ranges for things. So SOFIA had a wider range of infrared abilities. Couldn't look as far as the Webb telescope can, but it had a wider range, so it just could do different things. It was an expensive program. You know, you're flying this in order to do it, but some of the value that it offered versus the value of a satellite, they're just different. I won't support one better than the other because it's not like that. But this program was deemed too expensive for a lack of publications that it was coming out with, so they canceled the program and ends up here.
Okay. So it's not because it was like outdated, it's just a funding thing.
Yeah, I mean, it had more life in it, but yeah, when you're spending a lot of money and if people think you're not getting the results that you should, then.
Right.